What is going on, guys? My name is Boss. Welcome to another video. Now, today we're gonna dive into a matchup between High Elves and Dwarves. I know Zook Devil has been covering my replays about my Dwarf games, but this particular one I just really want to cast by myself because it has a lot of tactical things involved. And first thing, when we dive into a replay, we're just gonna basically do a quick rundown of our opponent's army. So my opponent is leading Dwarf, and he's got 2 units of actually 1 unit of Dwarf warriors, 1 unit of Longbeards, a cannon, and a thunders on the no ground here. So that was like a artillery segment of his army. And then on the right side, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry units, consist of 3 Longbeards and 3 Dwarf warriors. And he's got 2 more thunders. Oh, those are Dwarf warriors as well. So just a lot of Dwarf warriors and Longbeards, and 3 thunders, 1 regiments of renown, the Scolder God, the Iron Drake. These guys actually does AP damage. Yeah, they are very, very deadly. And then the leadership, he's got a runesmith with I don't believe I know the name of that thing. Oh my gosh. There you go, runesmith with a hammer of Karak-Drats. So that's basically a 50-second duration, minus 44 melee attack, minus 25% melee damage. That's weapon damage. That's huge actually. I wonder why I didn't pick this this skill before. I think it's super good, and it's only got 90 seconds of cooldown. That's super good. Rune of Negation, plus 22% damage resist, and the good old Rune of Wrath and Rune. And for the Lord, he's got Grimberg the White Dwarf with Flash Bump. Grimberg has no fear, so that's basically a one-time use only, map-wide unbreakable ability. So basically, if you see your troops routing, bang, hit this, everybody just gonna stay and fight. And he's also got the legendary item, the Rune Helm of Zufba. So that's a plus 12 leadership to 40 miles, I believe, and around him. So that's pretty good. And that's it. That's the army. So I don't think this is like a super optimized high elf army, but it's very durable. It's got a lot of heavy infantry, which is very interesting. And this list I got here is actually the list that Morgan actually beat me with. And Morgan actually beat my Dwarf list quite handily with this kind of loadout. And let's just run through it. So, on the top side, I got 2 Sword Masters of Hoeth. These are very heavy hitter. And I got 2 Noble Chariots. And with nothing else yet, not even Foe Seeker. And then I got a Great Eagle. I got Alaria the Radiant on a Great Eagle with a Staff Avalon, Arcane Conduit, Earthblood, Shieldstone of Isha, that's like a plus 12% physical resistance, Life's Balloon, pretty standard stuff. And then I got another Great Eagle on the right flank. So in this army, I got 4 single entities. I'm not sure whether it's a tournament legal, but I don't think eagles are considered to be big as monsters. So I think it will be tournament legit. But anyways, and I know it's tournament legit in Chinese tournament, which Morgan were participating. But yeah, I mean on ladder is definitely legit. And then I got 3 white knights, 2 standard archer, 3 spearsmen, high elf spearsmen, and that's it. That's the armor. So 5 heavy hitting infantry, 4 single entity monsters, single entities. Lobo chariot is not a monster. 2 archers and some chaff. That's it. And we'll see just how this is gonna play out. So this is a very big map, as you guys can see, and it's gonna take a while for things to get engaged. But you know, I'm just slowly pushing my sword masters and my white knights on the side. There you go, slowly pushing them, and then you can see I plan to set up the terrain here, and then quickly I decided to retreat. I'm not too sure why. And I would like to comment something here as well. See what my opponent was doing? He's actually dividing his army into 2 sections. So on this section is the bulk of his army, with 3 thunders and heaps of heavy infantry, from battle, the white dwarf, and also runesmiths. But on the low ground, he's actually got only 4 units, including his artillery piece, the cannon. And as you can see, the Great Eagle is already in place, ready to strike. So, well, let's just say, as Dwarf, you don't really want to set up like this, because of the terrain here. All the army up here can't really make it here in time to assist these guys. So which basically means these guys is basically, if your opponent is gonna capitalize on that, these guys are basically gonna die for free. Literally. And that's exactly what's gonna happen next. So this is definitely a technical flaw of my opponent, I would say. And I'll see what cannon is firing at the moment. And they're still repositioning. I'm not sure whether they're gonna get a shot off. There you go. Now they are ready to strike. And I think they are targeting Alario. Actually, Alario took some damage, which is good. Like at least they fired 1 shot, and then quickly they just get occupied by 2 Great Eagles. And Alario is just tossing dwarfs around. And then incoming the Lobo chariot. Wow, that thing actually got knocked down by the Great Eagle as well. So Lobos are coming through the ranks of Dwarf warriors and got into the Thunderers block. And those cannons, Thunderers, definitely just gonna get absolutely shredded by those heavy hitting single entities. And these dwarfs are actually got charged down by high elf spears, which is also not great engagement. While all this is happening, my opponent actually decided to just squeeze his army through this gap here, like this tiny little gap, into the pocket, into the high elf pocket, which has been set up by me. So again, I'm not too sure whether this is a good idea, because obviously your army won't actually make here in time to save all these troops. I would just say that because you saw those sword masters when the game started, so I'm not sure whether he saw that, but if he saw that, he should definitely just push the pace into this forest and get rid of those sword masters. But instead, right now, Dwarf is actually in a very interesting spot, because he's kinda camped in this box here. Well, he can't really get flanked due to the terrain, but those 2 sword masters are coming in hot, and they're gonna get a downhill charge onto these Nambiers. that's definitely not something, not the position you want to be in as dwarfs. And at the same time, I'm actually wrapping around with one of the spearsmen. That's weird. And then all these single entities are coming in, and swordmasters are coming in as well. Archers are firing at that Stoker Guard, Scolder Guard, Iron Drake's regiments of renown, and this Thunder is actually really having a hard time to fire. There you go. Finally, they're gonna fire at Alaria. Alaria is pretty fast herself, actually. Like, she's not hitting, not getting that much shot, because she has a tiny little model, and she can dodge shots quite efficiently. And those swordmasters actually just made into the Longbeards with a charge. And then I casted a overcasted a Earthblood onto everything here, and finally those angry noble chariots are coming in hot as well from the side, just absolutely hitting those Longbeards. And then nobles made into the little pocket here, and then one of the noble chariot actually charged at the back of this infantry, just rout them completely. And the Star of Avalon was casted as well, keep Alaria alive. Alaria is almost at her healing cap. That's how much damage she's taking already. And this Great Eagle is actually not doing so hot as well, but the Eagle is doing his job, just tying up those Thunders. And right now, basically, those swordmasters are practically still full health, and they're gonna absolutely decimate this pocket of dwarves. And right now, nobles are just charging backing and out through the ranks of those Longbeards, and Alaria is actually just get engaged with the front line as well, trying to get rid of them. Chariots are coming back in for glorious charge onto those Thunders, and practically rout them straight away. And there's very few troops left, and those Dwarf warriors, Longbeards actually came back to fight, but only charged by the White Lions again from the back. That's pretty grim for dwarves. And then with the glorious charge of those swordmasters from the downhill, and there was another overcasted version of Earthblood, and the swordmasters are cutting through those dwarves, and these guys are just so efficient at killing dwarves. There you go. Just get some final shots in. There's two Great Eagles. Oh, zooming too much right there. So basically made a good old little sandwich here, and practically I mopped the floor with dwarves. So the only target still left on the battlefield is the Grimberg, the White Dwarf, and he's about to fight the White Lions, and he actually decided to just peace out. So again, it's definitely not a very competitive. It's not really a competitive replay, but the reason why I want to cast this is because it just shows that some very interesting tactical mistakes my opponent made actually got capitalized by me, and just basically put himself in a very, very bad situation in the end. And as you can see, like, all my forces are still relatively healthy. Like, I lost about a little over 10% of my troops, and I killed pretty much all his troops. As you can see, in hit points wise, I pretty much killed of all these troops, and he had way more troops than me. Like he had 1, 2, 3, 3 more troops than me. Not that many, but still, just basically shows that the beauty of Warhammer multiplayer. You have to make the correct tactical decisions. As dwarves, if you have artillery piece, you have to protect it. You have to make it count. Otherwise, you just lose the value of bringing those artillery. And not to mention, alongside with the cannon, you actually lost 3 extra units for nothing. That's just something unacceptable. And I hope you guys learned something from this replay. For now, Oracle Bows signing off.